Yes, welcome to another video. I'm Lewis, above me is John. We've got a transfer roundup coming for you today, guys, with some pretty weird names, not gonna lie. So we'll get into them in just a second. Before we do, let's set a like target of 1,000 as always. We just need 1,000 here to smash that thumbs up button and then we hit the target. Subscribe as well if you're new, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. We're trying to get to 35,000 subscribers. Any help towards that we would appreciate. Okay, so start with the outgoings. As always, just a quick note, obviously Eric Garcia and Sergio Berto have both left to Barcelona now. But someone else who might be going to Spain is Bernardo Silva. We discussed this a little bit in our video the other day. Apparently Athletico Madrid are eyeing a move for Bernardo Silva. Diego Simeone is, what even is that word, bro? Ogling?
Oogling?
I don't know.
I'd call that oogling.
Whatever that means. But apparently he really likes Bernardo Silva. Apparently Atletico wanted him for many years, including when he was at Monaco as well. And they reckon that they have great relationships with his agent. And obviously we've done some business with them in the past as well. So they believe that they can get him. I really don't want this deal to go ahead. For me, if I was City, I'd be wanting, if I was going to sell him, which I wouldn't sell him, I'd be wanting like 70 million plus. I think he's really that good. Whether they'll give us that much cash because of his numbers, like his stats aren't actually that great in terms of numbers. I don't know, but I really don't want this guy to leave, man.
No, this guy has to stay. I mean, we all love Bernardo, and I think stat padders, like you said, look at it and be like, oh, he's not worth that much. However, he gives you that extra bit of energy in the pitch. He's so important to our team anyway. And he would be for any team that he'd ever go into, but I just hope we don't get rid of him. I don't want this to be one of the guys that leaves, and if there is anyone to leave, I don't want it to be him. And then the other outgoings, there's not many outgoings in this one, is Jango Herrera. Apparently he's at the centre of negotiations with an unnamed Premier League club ahead of a summer move, with Valencia already ruled out as an option for the City midfielder. This guy, has he even made an appearance for City, or has he just always been on loan?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he's ever made an appearance. But obviously these CFG signings, you know, they do pay off. You know, we've discussed this in the past of should we do it? Did they work? But they do work. Not all of them work, but
no, they make us a lot of money though.
Yeah, they'll make us a lot of cash. And obviously, if he's going to go to a Premier League club, you know, the money involved in the Premier, you'd like to think we're going to get 15 million for him easy. So, you know, put it towards the Harry Kane fund, innit? You know what I mean? So
win-win.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on to the incomings now. We start with Jack Grealish. That's a weird one, right? I was discussing this just before we did the video. Apparently, Jack Grealish is not for sale at any price.
$1 billion, bro. Taking it? Nah.
Well, you know what I mean? What is this? You know what I mean? It's Aston Villa we're talking about here. They can't just keep the best player like that, you know, if he wants to leave. You know, they've got to let him, you know, spread his wings, innit? Pep Guardiola apparently is a huge admirer of Grealish. Grealish loves Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne loves Grealish. Apparently he's one of our priorities for the summer. But this is coming from Birmingham Live, you know, obviously the local press around Villa, and they're saying that he's not for sale. However, this is just a sales tactic, isn't it, bro?
Wishful thinking, bro, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I mean, maybe they're just saying it because they don't want it to happen. However, it could happen. I do believe that he will be one of our main targets this summer, and obviously we like him. And I think I read something the other day saying that the Euros will be like like a last look at him, do you know what I mean? To see how he does in the Euros. Like one last test for him. So this is one of the ones where I think this is a real possibility. This could get done. Contrary to the Birmingham Live.
I reckon this could be a goer.
Yeah. Next in the incomings then is Sergio Ramos. And it's weird because we included him in the list just because of the recent transfer rumours around Sergio Ramos. This guy is a free agent now from Real Madrid. Probably he's not going to be joining City, so I mean he's on the incoming list, but actually just not even coming. But the rumours are that he's not actually going to be coming to Manchester City, and there were rumours circulating that potentially he'd be one. I imagine that if he did come in, that'd see probably the end of one of our centre backs, maybe Laporte or something like that. Yeah. He's the one that's been rumoured most to leave. But yeah, this ain't happening. This is just another one. Although stranger things have happened in these weird transfer windows.
It would be, yeah, we're going to have to offload. You know, we're not going to get rid of Diaz or Stones, so it's going to have to be Ake and Laporte. Ake's been injured all season. We only signed him last year. So, you know, if we're going to sign a centre-back, you'd think one's going to leave and you'd think it's probably going to be Laporte based on odds. Sergio Berto, I don't want this guy. He's been linked with us. I think we've been linked with him in the past, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of times we've been linked with him because your disinterest I remember it all the time.
Proper boring guy. Sergio Berto's environment, though, have assured that there's been no concrete interest from Manchester City. He does want to stay at Barcelona, but, you know, he's being linked around. Maybe he's just maybe he's looking for a new deal, and because we got the most money nowadays, we're just the club who their agents just throw out. Oh, they're interested. You know what I mean? But generally, it's just to get more cash out of the club that they're already in. I hope that's the case because I really just think I'm not saying he's a bad footballer, but I just don't want him, man. Don't want him.
The thing is, as well, like we said about the Sergio Ramos situation, I think if he was to come in, we'd have to get rid of a right back because that's where we'd be playing, isn't it? Right back. So we'd have to get rid of either Cancelo or Walker, and I don't see that happening for either of them.
Yeah.
Next on the incomings is Manuel Lochitelli. This is a guy that this has been rumours since last summer. Do you know what I mean? Throughout January, through this. Yeah. It's just this is one of them underlying ones that keep happening about the CDM spot. We jumped from like players like Zakaria. I mean, we've looked at Basuma and stuff like that. But apparently, City and PSG are testing the waters for Lochitelli because he's making official offer for Sassuolo midfielder. Juventus can't match his price. They only want to pay 25 mil, whereas Sassuolo would demand 40 mil, and that's the figure that has been kind of there the whole time.
Yeah.
Every time we mention Lochitelli, it's always been the 40 million euro figure. That's how much it'll cost to get this guy.
Yeah, and it's funny, really, because their CEO's come out and said, we want to make him happy. There's loads of clubs in for him. So they're taking the opposite approach to, like, you know, Daniel Levy and these guys who are like, we're not selling him at any price. They're like, no, we're going to sell him. He wants to go. We're going to sell him. You know what I mean? And for me, that's a decent way of doing business, you know, because you get the money in and you do generally the deal's done quickly. You know what I mean? And then you can go and spend that money and get someone in. You know, if you take the hardline approach, all right, you might get an extra 10, 15% on the transfer fee, but it's going to drag on, and then everyone else knows that you've got pure cash as well, so you end up spending a load of money.
Yeah.
So does it really work, having this hardline approach? I'm not sure. Right, here's a weird one, guys. Rafinha, Leeds, is a winger. United, Liverpool are in for him as well. Apparently, they reckon that United and Liverpool are more likely to sign him than City. But apparently, City are interested in Rafinha. He's a winger. We'd probably have to sell to buy. But this is a proper strange one. It's come out of nowhere, man. I don't see this one being done, to be honest.
No, I don't see this happening. I know a lot of people do rate him, and I've seen this like quite a few. I see his name pop up quite a few times this season. I don't see him coming to us. Like I say, it's another one of the situations where we'd have to offload a player, and maybe you could look at Bernardo Silva. Could be one of the ones that make way, but I don't want Bernardo to leave. And as well, we've seen Bernardo more in the midfield role this year. So. This is it's just a weird one. It's just come out of nowhere, and it's just like, nah, this ain't happening. Next then, this is where striker season starts, bro.
Yeah. That's what you're all here for.
Yeah. First on the list is Lukaku. Apparently, they set the frame alongside Chelsea to sign Lukaku this summer, and early indications for the players' camp suggest City are offering higher wages. Obviously, they're going to suggest that. That links back to what you said a minute ago. Lukaku would be willing to come back to the Premier League. And I was thinking that he's had such a good season at Inter. I was unsure whether he would want to come back to the Premier League because of how well he's been doing.
He's also said that he's very happy at Inter Milan, that he's not really asked about leaving. So they've got, obviously, cash problems. So I reckon he doesn't want to leave. But if a bid comes into him, and Inter Milan say, look, can you leave because we need the cash? I reckon obviously he's not going to say, I'm going to stay here. So that's the backwards way. But
the thing is, because they need cash as well, Inter, you could probably get a good deal on this guy. Yeah. I mean, you could probably get. They'll still hardball it for quite a bit, but they're in a terrible time, innit? Like that's the reason Kante left, isn't it? Because of the cash. So you could potentially get a good deal on Lukaku if the other striker targets fail. Yeah,
exactly. I like Lukaku, and you know, if we can't get Kane, we can't get Haaland, then
he's a very good option.
He's probably up there with someone that I would accept. Andre Silva, we've been hearing this guy's name a hell of a lot recently, guys. It's been touted from quite a few journalists now that City are looking at Andre Silva. So George Mendes is the agent. They reckon it's only going to cost 40 million euros to get him out of Frankfurt, which is probably about 35 million quid, something like that. So it's not a great deal, you know what I mean? So if City can't get Haaland, they can't get Kane, maybe they'll take this cheap option. His numbers are mint, but obviously you've got to, will he replicate those numbers in the Champions League, in the Premier League? It's difficult to say. There's no guarantee. It's a big risk. But if you can't get Harry Kane, you can't get Haaland. Do you just take that risk given how cheap he is? 37 million quid. It's this day and age. That is ridiculous, the price.
It seems like a steal, that kind of cash for a striker.
You can see why City would be interested in a deal like this, you know what I mean? Especially with losing so much cash over COVID and that, Getting a player with the stats that Andre Silva has for 37 million quid is, like you say, bro, it seems like a steal.
Yeah, it all seems to kind of add up when you look at it like that. He is obviously the backup to our main striker targets. Do I want him personally? No, I want I want the Kane and stuff like that, something like that. Or Haaland, but he's there as a cheaper option. You know what I mean? He's the one. But then you're looking at Lukaku and stuff. But I personally think Lukaku could be probably destined for Chelsea if he is to leave there, and hopefully Kane to us. So that'd make Andre Silva our backup to that. But you know what I mean? Is what it is. We'll have to wait and see on that one. And then next on the list is the man himself, Harry Kane. Apparently, now, we did a video yesterday on Harry Kane. If you've not watched that, go watch that. And yesterday's video was about Levy pretty much refusing to sell him and saying, playing hardball, you know what I mean? There's not a chance that he is leaving. And Lewis said something that was incredibly true. And people in the comments were coming about this. He said this pretty much about everyone. He said this about Bale, Modric, all of them. He's pretty much said, not letting them leave. And in the same summer, they'll end up leaving anyway. So now, let's come out a day later, is the fact that they've actually put a valuation on him now. So he actually has a price target on his head, and it's what was rumoured time ago, around 150 million, whereas City's valuation of him is more near the 100 million. So you know what I mean? There's a gap there. And just before we started recording, you said about maybe meeting in the middle, didn't you, bro? Yeah,
I reckon if the deal's going to be done, I reckon it's going to be about 125 million. Interestingly, though, today I saw rumours coming out that apparently Kante is now having second thoughts about going to Tottenham because Levy's now said to him that, no, I'm going to have to sell him. And
Conte's like, nah, I want him there.
One of the reasons Kante was going to take the job is because he kept Harry Kane, and now it said, I think it was a Twitter account called Daily Hotspur, and they said the deal to get Kante to Tottenham is as far away as it's been. It's not to say it won't happen. I still think it probably will happen, but I just think Conte's assessing the situation there, going, look, I'm coming into a club which is losing its star player. And then you're going to replace him with someone who's clearly not going to be as good. That's going to be tricky. So we'll just have to see what's happening in that one, because this is a fast-moving story. Obviously, one of the problems that Levy's got is that he can't come out and say, well, he can come out, but if he comes out and says we're not selling him at any price, the Tottenham fans will be buzzing and be like, oh yeah, we're not selling him. If he's then and he's already in the mud. Tottenham fans don't like Daniel Levy. So then if he then says that and then sells him, Tottenham fans have got more ammunition to fire.
Yeah, he's fueled his own fire, isn't it? Yeah. You know what I mean? He's shot himself in the foot by saying it. So I think that's why. I think that's a bad move in it for him to come out and say something.
Yeah. So it's be an interesting one. This is going to be a fast-moving story. There's going to be loads of rumours flying around. Probably every single day you'll get something different. But we'll just have to stay on top of it and see what happens with that one. I still think the deal will get done. I still think we'll get Harry Kane. I think we'll get Jack Grealish, and maybe we'll get someone else. But Harry Kane, I reckon about 125 million. Apparently, like it's City, I'm prepared to throw in a player to get the fee down a little bit. Who that'll be, I don't know. But yeah, it's certainly looking like it's going to be a mega summer for sure.
Yeah, 100%. That one player that you throw in, if you had to pick, who would it be?
Gabby Jesus.
I think that's that. And apparently they were interested in Gabby last year.
Yeah, I'd throw in Gabby Jesus. And I think that'd be a good move for Gabby as well, because if he goes in there and he's the number one striker for Tottenham, he'll do well. Yeah. Gabby needs to be played every single week, knowing that he's going to be playing every single week, I think. So I think he'll do well, Gabby Jesus there. I think that his time, in my opinion, is coming to an end at City. You know what I mean? He doesn't score goals when he's in the team. He can play well as a winger, but we have enough wingers, you know what I mean? And I just think that maybe it's time to let him go. I don't know. I just want Harry Kane real bad. You know what I mean? That's the situation. We'll have to see what happens.
Real bad.
But guys, yeah, who would you throw in? If we had to throw in a player, who would you throw in? Let us know in the comment section below, and we'll have a look, see if any of you've thrown any curveballs in there. If you enjoyed the video, guys, smash a like on it. We're going for 1,000, so check where we're up to now and help us towards that 1,000 target. Make sure you subscribe as well if you're new to the channel. We'll see you in the next one. See you in a bit.